You are powerful. You were made to stand out. You may not understand now, but later you will. Be unapologetically authentic.
The new Miss Texas is Chandler Foreman. Woo!
So as early as first grade, I remember my teachers telling my parents, Chandler is a leader. She has the opportunity to lead these kids. I used to wonder, okay, what does this mean? I didn't sign up to be a leader on any homework assignment. I didn't understand what that entailed. I ran track for 11 years. I was a cheerleader. I even dibbled and dabbled in volleyball. So I've always been super competitive. Told my mom, I said, Mom, I'm looking for something else. And she goes, well, how about pageants? I'm like, Mom, I'm a tomboy. I'm not even pretty. I can't do something like this. She was like, first of all, you're gonna stop talking about my child. And then she said, with the great support system that we will have, we'll get there. At the time, I thought it was a lie. It's this whole new world. You have to be polished. You have to be articulate. You have to be well-spoken. Similar to track, it's a mental thing. If you psych yourself out of it, if you feed yourself negativity, you have to cast those thoughts down and say that I can do this. The easiest part for me was talent, because I'm a flautist and I've been a musician since I was 5 years old. And so that was like the part that I said, oh, okay, I got this. So I love my smile now, but when I was a young girl, I didn't smile much. As we know, kids are mean. I was always criticized for my appearance. I would have kids tell me that you're peculiar because you have a gap in your teeth, or you're curvier than everybody else, or thicker than everyone else, or that your hair is too thick and it needs to have a looser curl pattern. I'll never forget when I was in high school and one of my classmates told me that my gap was the size of a football field goal and that he couldn't be friends with me because of that. I know, at the time it did destroy my little confidence. It just made me believe even more that something was wrong. I'm like, oh God, this is proof I'm ugly. Thank you for giving me this. I remember crying those things out, and I would be in the mirror and I'd put a straw, whatever material I could find to put in between my teeth to say, this is how I would look if I didn't have a gap. I would be so normal. I would be just like everyone else. One of the mentors in my life was my track coach. I said, hey, Coach McCray, tomorrow's a new day. I'm getting this gap closed. I'm getting braces. And she was not ecstatic at all. And she's like, I like the gap. I thought it was beautiful. She was like, I know you know Madonna. Look at her. She didn't close her gap. Imagine if she would have closed her gap, then she would have been like everybody else. Look at you. You're beautiful. This is what makes you unique. You stand out. You don't look like everyone else. That was one of the most defining moments in my life. I am unique. I'm not supposed to look like everybody else. I'm not supposed to sound like everyone else. And again, having that strong support system, because I knew my family was unique. People would always say my family is a peculiar people. So I knew it wasn't just me. And if I had my family, everybody saying that they're, peculiar people, I'm like, well, I'm rolling with them. So I'm peculiar too. I would say if it wasn't for my family, I wouldn't be the woman I am today. I had my family in my ear being realists and also being that encouraging team, especially in a time as a teenager, a teenage girl. We beat ourselves up like no other at that age. So most important thing is having encouragement. My sister was my biggest mentor, is my biggest mentor. When you have the right person in your life to steer you, who supports, uplifts, and speaks life into you, that's the power of having the right mentor. I was able to get to a point to where I'm not necessarily fearless, but believing in my full potential. What we don't realize when we're younger is that we are who gets in our way more than anything else. We are our biggest competition. We are our biggest critic. We are the person that's in the way. Originally, the way that I wore my hair to compete was I would just wear extensions. I would just wear a weave because I thought that was the norm. I thought that was accepted, and that went into that self-doubt. A year before I was crowned Miss Texas, I said, you know what? I'm just gonna wear my hair because this is how God made me. And if this is truly about being your authentic self, well, you're gonna take me as I am. There is so much beauty, and it shouldn't just be one type. When I was crowned, it was like the opportunities that will present itself, the kids, the lives, the people, which is what makes Texas great. That all was going through my mind in that moment that, wow, this is about to happen to me. Specifically when I'm doing school appearances, you see the kids, you look in their eyes, you see that they are so eager to learn, eager to receive from you. And I get it, the shiny hat does have powers, but you can do what you want with those. This is a child's life we're talking about. We don't know what this moment can do. So everything that I say, how I perform, it matters. Our actions matter. I have to put that accountability on others as well to be the change, to live up to that potential, to be their very best self. When I look in the mirror now, I see a woman who loves who she is, who once didn't love who she was before. I see a woman who understands her purpose, her vision, who understands exactly what she was put on this earth to do. To entertain, to make impact.